there, disco dynamos. Welcome back to Nostalgia Area. Today, we're cranking up the disco ball and spinning into the grooviest era ever, the 1970s. But instead of focusing on disco kings and queens who ruled the charts, we're shining a sequined spotlight on the one-hit wonders who gave us absolute bangers, and then vanished faster than a pair of polyester pants in a bonfire. So, grab your funky threads, clear the dance floor, and get ready to shake your groove thing as we revisit these unforgettable tracks and the stories of the artists who burned brightly but briefly. Let's disco! First up, we're kicking, literally, with Carl Douglas and his 1974 smash hit, Kung Fu Fighting. This song was so unexpectedly huge, it might as well have been the Bruce Lee of disco hits. At the time, Kung Fu movies were all the rage, and Carl managed to capture the cultural moment perfectly. But lightning didn't strike twice, and Carl's subsequent releases couldn't pack the same punch. Still, Kung Fu Fighting remains a party favorite, proving that sometimes one hit is all you need to achieve disco immortality. Next, we have Patrick Hernandez with his 1978 classic, Born to Be Alive. The song's upbeat tempo and exuberant vibe perfectly encapsulated the carefree spirit of the disco era. Patrick seemed destined for a glittering career. After all, who wouldn't want more of that energy? But alas, the French musician's career fizzled out faster than a soda left open at Studio 54. Despite this, Born to Be Alive has endured as a go-to anthem for anyone wanting to dance like nobody's watching. Anita Ward's Ring My Bell was the track to ring in a good time in 1979. With its funky groove and sultry lyrics, this song was an instant favorite at discos everywhere. Unfortunately, Anita's bell stopped ringing soon after, as her follow-up singles didn't strike the same chord. But let's be real, if you've got a song that still gets people grooving decades later, you've already won the disco game. Andrea True, originally an adult film star, made a surprising and successful leap into the music industry with her 1976 hit, More, More, More. This song's seductive lyrics and infectious beat made it a runaway hit, reaching the top of the charts and becoming a staple in discos around the world. The song was reportedly recorded in Jamaica after Andrea was unable to transfer money out of the country due to political restrictions. Instead of letting the funds sit idle, she used them to record a disco track. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. If there's one place we'd all love to visit, it's Funky Town. Lips Incorporated teleported us there in 1980 with their mega hit Funky Town. This futuristic, groovy anthem dominated dance floors worldwide and became a symbol of disco's transition into the 1980s. Unfortunately, the group couldn't replicate the magic, and Funky Town became more of a one-way street. But hey, at least they gave us a song that's still a dance party essential today. Hallelujah, It's Raining Men! The Weather Girls burst onto the scene with their 1982 powerhouse track, It's Raining Men. It became an instant anthem for dance floors and remains a karaoke favorite to this day. Originally performing as 2 Tons of Fun, the Weather Girls delivered a storm of energy with this hit, but struggled to follow it up with anything of equal magnitude. Still, if you're going to be remembered for one song, this isn't a bad way to go out. Walter Murphy brought classical music to the disco floor in 1976 with A Fifth of Beethoven. This innovative track was a disco rendition of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, blending 2 wildly different genres into a chart-topping hit. Despite the success of this track, Murphy couldn't replicate its impact with his later works. But A Fifth of Beethoven remains a shining example of how disco could transform anything into pure gold, even classical masterpieces. Cheryl Lynn's debut single, Got to Be Real, is one of those songs that make you feel instantly cooler just by listening to it. Released in 1978, it's a timeless classic that oozes confidence and swagger. With its infectious beat and powerful vocals, the song quickly became a disco staple and an anthem of self-assurance. Though Cheryl's later releases didn't achieve the same level of mainstream success, she'll always be remembered for delivering one of the most iconic tracks of the disco era. Silver Convention soared to the top of the charts with their 1975 hit, Fly Robin Fly. This track's hypnotic rhythm and minimalist lyrics, consisting of only 6 words, somehow managed to captivate audiences around the globe. The song even won a Grammy Award, proving that you don't need complex lyrics to create a disco masterpiece. However, Silver Convention's other songs didn't quite take flight in the same way. Still, Fly Robin Fly remains a disco classic that continues to enchant listeners and transport them back to the glamour of the 70s. Maxine Nightingale's Right Back Where We Started From is the musical equivalent of a shot of pure joy. Released in 1975, this upbeat, feel-good track became a major hit and a dance floor favorite. Its infectious melody and cheerful vibe make it impossible not to smile when you hear it. Unfortunately, Maxine's subsequent releases didn't capture the same magic, but her one big hit has continued to bring happiness to countless listeners over the years. When Vicki Sue Robinson told us to turn the beat around, we turned it all the way up. This 1976 anthem was packed with energy, sass, and powerful vocals, making it an instant hit on the disco scene. It's the kind of song that makes you want to grab a tambourine and join in. Although Vicki Sue's later efforts didn't hit the same high notes, this track remains a timeless classic that keeps the dance floor alive. The Hughes Corporation made waves in 1974 with their hit Rock the Boat. Often credited as one of the first disco songs, this track's smooth grooves and catchy lyrics had people rocking, literally on the dance floor. It's the kind of song that perfectly captures the early spirit of disco, combining funk influences with a new exciting sound. While the group's follow-up songs didn't chart as well, Rock the Boat remains a timeless classic that helped set the stage for the disco explosion. Patrick Jouvet's 1978 anthem I Love America is a disco love letter to the land of opportunity, freedom, and apparently excellent dance floors. With its uplifting beats and Jouvet's sultry vocals, this track became a massive hit in Europe and even found success in the US. The song perfectly captured the glitzy, carefree vibe of late 70s disco culture. Despite this success, Jouvet struggled to replicate the magic with his later releases. Still, I Love America remains a shining gem in the disco canon. Released in 1979, McFadden and Whitehead's Ain't No Stopping Us Now is an uplifting anthem that became a dance floor sensation. Its positive lyrics and infectious beat had people grooving everywhere, celebrating perseverance and joy. The duo couldn't quite replicate the magic with their subsequent releases, but this track remains a cornerstone of any great disco playlist and a reminder that sometimes one perfect hit is all you need to make a lasting impression. Alicia Bridges gave us the ultimate party anthem with her 1978 hit, I Love the Nightlife. With its infectious disco beat and sassy vocals, the song was an instant favorite at clubs and parties. The track celebrates the thrill of nightlife, making it a must-play for anyone looking to hit the dance floor. Although Bridges struggled to replicate this success in her later career, she'll always be remembered for capturing the spirit of disco in one unforgettable track. Yvonne Elliman's If I Can't Have You is a certified disco classic that became an instant hit when it featured on the legendary Saturday Night Fever soundtrack in 1977. This emotionally charged anthem, with its smooth vocals and heartfelt lyrics, captured the pain of unrequited love while still being danceable, a rare feat in the disco world. Though her later releases didn't capture the same level of fame, If I Can't Have You has cemented its place as one of the defining tracks of the disco era, giving Yvonne a legacy that still resonates today. Tavares brought the soul to disco with their 1976 hit, Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. This smooth, romantic groove had couples swaying and singles dreaming of love under the glittering disco ball. With their silky harmonies and feel-good vibes, Tavares seemed poised for lasting stardom. While they did have other hits on the R&B charts, nothing quite matched the universal appeal of this angelic anthem. This track still gets people smiling and grooving, proving that some disco angels never truly leave the dance floor.